Okay, imagine your body is this huge, bustling city. To keep everything running smoothly, you absolutely need communication. But what if I told you there's this secret, wireless network sending messages that control, well, everything? We're talking your energy levels, your mood, how you grow, how you react in an emergency. That's the endocrine system, and we're about to pull back the curtain on its secret messages.
So here's the game plan for our tour of your body's master control system. First, we'll get the basics of this internal Wi-Fi. Then, we'll head up to the command center in your brain. From there, we'll meet the key players managing your daily energy, how you handle a crisis, and your long-term growth. It's going to be a wild ride.
First up, let's get a handle on how this whole thing actually works. See, your body has two major coordination systems, and once you get the difference between them, you can really appreciate how slick this endocrine network is.
No, really, just think about that for a second. It is an absolutely incredible feat of engineering. You've got millions of cells, dozens of organs, and they all have to work together in perfect harmony. How is that even possible? Well, the answer is in two very different but totally complementary communication styles.
Think of it like this. Your nervous system, that's a landline telephone. It's a direct, point-to-point connection. It's lightning fast, but the message is over in a flash. Perfect for, pulling your hand off a hot stove. But the endocrine system, that's the body's Wi-Fi. It broadcasts messages, hormones, throughout the entire system using the bloodstream. It's a little slower to get started, but the effects are massive, widespread, and last way longer. It's perfect for ongoing jobs like growth and metabolism. So what exactly are these messages being sent over the internal Wi-Fi? They're called hormones. And you gotta understand, these aren't fuel like vitamins or protein. They are pure information. Tiny, super powerful chemical messengers. Specialized glands make them in trace amounts, release them into the blood, and send them off to find their specific target cells somewhere else in the body.
And here they are. These are our broadcasting stations.
This map gives us a bird's eye view of all the major endocrine glands we're going to visit today, from the high command up in the brain all the way down to the reproductive glands. Each one of these has a critical job in keeping the city of you running smoothly.
All right, let's go straight to the top of the organizational chart. All these glands need a conductor, a master controller to tell them when to get to work. And for that, we have to go to the brain's command center. This image just shows it so perfectly. The direct physical link between our two top bosses. Up top, you've got the hypothalamus. Think of it as the CEO, making the big picture decisions. And hanging right below it, connected by a little stalk, is the pituitary gland. That's our general manager, the one responsible for actually carrying out the CEO's orders. So the chain of command here is crystal clear. The hypothalamus, the CEO, sends out an order. It's either a releasing hormone, which basically says, go, or an inhibiting hormone, which says, stop. The pituitary, our manager, gets that order and then sends a more specific stimulating hormone down the line to a target gland, our employee, who then makes the final hormone that goes out and affects the body. Simple, right? Okay, so now let's meet some of these employee glands, the ones that are actually running the day-to-day operations. We're talking about the glands that manage your energy budget, your internal clock, and all of your body's big construction projects.
Tucked deep in the brain is the pineal gland. This little guy is your body's timekeeper. It pumps out melatonin, which controls your 24-hour rhythms, most famously your sleep-wake cycle. Then, down in your neck, you have the thyroid gland. This is like the throttle on your body's engine. Its main hormone, thyroxin, sets your basal metabolic rate, basically deciding how fast you burn fuel just sitting around.
Now, to do its job, the thyroid needs one crucial ingredient, iodine. And if it doesn't get enough from your diet, the gland starts working overtime, trying desperately to make its hormones. What happens? It swells up. This condition, called goiter, is a really dramatic visual that reminds you just how vital this little gland's work really is. And this just highlights the incredible balancing act of the endocrine system. Growth hormone, coming from the pituitary, is like the master architect for your body. But that balance has to be just right. It's a real Goldilocks situation. If the pituitary makes too much during childhood, you get gigantism. Too little, and you get pituitary dwarfism. It's a powerful lesson in how the amount of these hormones is everything.
Okay, we've covered the daily grind. Now let's look at the glands that handle the extremes. We're talking life or death emergencies and the super tight regulation of one of the body's most critical minerals.
Sitting like a little hat on top of each kidney is an adrenal gland. This is your body's crisis center. And get this, it's basically two glands in one.
The inner part, the medulla, is for immediate emergencies. The outer layer, the cortex, deals with more long-term stress. Two totally different jobs. Let's focus on that inner medulla. Just imagine you sense a sudden threat, a loud bang behind you, a car swerving into your lane. In that single instant, your brain sends a panic signal here. The adrenal medulla blasts your system with adrenaline and noradrenaline. Yep, the legendary fight or flight hormones. And you know this feeling. The effects are instant. Your alertness goes through the roof, your pupils get huge to let in more light. You can feel your heart pounding, faster and harder, as you start breathing more rapidly, packing your blood with oxygen. And deep inside, your body is breaking down stored energy, flooding your system with fuel. In a split second, you are primed for peak performance, all thanks to these incredible hormones.
Now for a different kind of critical control, calcium. Hidden behind the thyroid are 4 teeny tiny parathyroid glands. They release parathyroid hormone, or PTH, which acts like a bank manager, pulling calcium out of your bones to raise the levels in your blood. It's hypercalcemic. It raises calcium. Its partner in this dance is a hormone from the thyroid, TCT, which does the exact opposite, lowering calcium. It's this perfect push-pull system, keeping this vital mineral in a super precise, narrow range.
All right, let's move on to a function that's familiar to a lot of us and is absolutely essential for fueling every single cell in our body. We're talking about the master level control of blood sugar, all orchestrated by the pancreas. So, inside the pancreas, you've got these little clusters of cells, and in there, 2 hormones are doing this elegant dance. When your blood sugar drops, alpha cells release glucagon. That's the gas pedal. It tells your liver, hey, release some stored glucose, and your blood sugar goes up. But when your blood sugar is high, say after a big meal, beta cells release insulin. That's the brake. It tells all your cells to open up and absorb glucose from the blood, bringing your levels back down. Gas and brake working in perfect harmony. And this balance is absolutely everything. Because when that insulin system, our brake pedal, starts to fail, blood sugar can stay dangerously high. That prolonged state of high blood sugar, or hyperglycemia, is the root cause of diabetes mellitus. It's a serious disorder where the body just can't manage its main fuel source anymore.
All right, to wrap up our tour, let's visit the glands that are responsible for, some pretty important stuff. The development of who we are as males and females, and the continuation of our species. Let's talk about the gonads.
So let's meet the architects of our reproductive lives. In males, you have the testes. They produce a group of hormones called androgens, and the big star is testosterone. It's in charge of developing male sex organs, sperm production, and all the secondary stuff, like a deeper voice. In females, the ovaries produce 2 rock stars, estrogen, which shapes female development and characteristics, and progesterone, which is absolutely vital for supporting pregnancy. And that's our tour. We've seen this incredible, totally invisible network of chemical messengers that runs our sleep, our energy, our growth, our stress, our reproduction, the whole shebang. So it kind of leaves you with this one big thought. If this is just one of the body's secret systems, what other amazing things are happening inside of us right now? This silent, perfectly tuned orchestra that we don't even know is playing.